how to work with the energy of oneness in a really tangible way. So something that I see at the moment is a lot of separation and division in the world and in communities, online communities, spiritual communities, in the coaching industry. Like, I have a foot in both camps because I am a healer, but I'm also a coach and I come from a corporate background. So I kind of have foots in all these camps, and I can see this polarity, this division, this separation, yet at the same time there is this teaching about oneness. So how do we compute this? So one of the biggest ways that I can see and have wisdom about how to stop this separation and polarity, and to, there will always be polarity, but give it some balance, is this realization that anyone spiritual, anyone religious, anyone conscious, because consciousness in this paradigm is the new intelligence, by having this awareness that everyone is connected to the same divine source creator. So that's the first thing. We are all connected when we choose to, and when we do practices too, and when we get into that creative flow. Of course, not everyone is like in that flow state at all times, but whatever you believe in, God, gods, source, universe, God, whatever word you use, having that awareness and being able to hold space that everyone is connected to that divine source of creation, and no matter what the word someone is using, that is ultimately what they are describing. So we are all spiritually, religiously, consciously connected to the same thing. So through that, we are one. Yet at the same time, just to add balance to this video, I've seen some really toxic behaviours around this oneness. So there are people who aren't connected to source, or their channel to source is blocked, and they're either working with something that's not of the light, or they just have so much trauma in their field that they can't connect to their own source energy, which is the description of an energy vampire. Okay, so what I've also seen is a toxic trait around this oneness of, you should give love and compassion to those people because they're struggling, because they don't have their own connection, because they don't have their own divine connection. And at the same time, when we do that, we actually take away their autonomy. We take away their empowerment, and we start to feed energy vampires. And this is sometimes through no fault of their own, like through trauma or through free will choices that they have made to connect to dark energies and entities. So in this instance of oneness, what we actually need to do is actually disconnect more. So I'm hearing a lot about, oh, just send love, just send prayers. But you actually shouldn't send love and prayers, because it starts to create cords and it starts to create energy drains with these people. The more we can leave them to be on their own path, the more we can leave others to be empowered, the more we can leave others to be the authority of their own lives and step out of it, the more we give them a chance to connect to that oneness, to that divine connection, to crack open, to let the light in. This is what has happened to so many of us, right? Through our traumas, we have cracked open. We've been to the lowest of the low. I was literally like on the floor crying. I was prescribed antidepressants, and in that lowest of the low moment decided not to take them and to go on the journey of consciousness, to allow myself to be cracked open, to look at my shadows, to look at what my emotions were telling me. And this is true oneness, is firstly that awareness that everyone is divinely connected to the same thing and is just using different words for it. And secondly, oneness is also leaving people to be on their own journey so they can be empowered, so they can be the authority, so that they can crack open and to have the journey that they need to have, and that may or may not be connected to source, because everything in this oneness, in this reality, is light and dark, and we need the shadow, we need the darkness just as much as we need the light, because it is just the reality that we are in. So yes, the planet's frequency is shifting and changing, but there will always be, in this human 3D experience, there will always be some polarity, but it's how we navigate that, using that term of oneness in an autonomous yet connected way. Does this make any sense? Let me know in comments.